Well, for some reason I'm still here. We're going to introduce the new pre-cadets. Formal introductions later. Avi Woods, Hannah Robb, and Monica Zhu. The regular cadets will take them below decks for their briefing. The junior cadets will go with the cadets below decks because they are not yet on the bridge. They will be briefed there. Take them to their assignments. Yes, Captain, as you wish. Cadets, fall in.
Yes, sir.
You will be assigned according to division assignments. Those of you in the medical team will go with the medical staff. Those of you in command team will go with the command staff. And those of you in engineering or sciences will go with them. Dismissed. Take them off the bridge. Aye, sir. Fall in. Move out. But not like in the movie Alien, when he said a-holes and elbows, let's go. Because that would have been incorrect. Because that would have meant get down on the floor and pick up trash. Now, everyone move out. Because none of you are trash. You're the best and the brightest. Or at least, second best, maybe. Heh, just kidding. Yes, Lieutenant. Command staff cadets, assemble. Command division cadets, move out.
Medical or science division cadets, move out.
There's only one of me. So, yeah. Singular. You must be a Woods. Little bit of that sass there. My sisters told me a lot about you. All of it good, sir. I hope so. Let's move out.
Let's go.
Sciences, security, or engineering cadets fall in. I'm Monica Zhu. I will follow orders. Captain. I'm not a captain, I'm an ensign. Oh, sorry. Well, what about the dog-faced boy over there?
I am a Tegite extra-dimensional being from the future. I have stepped through the porthole of 2025 to come and join you on this mission.
What is he talking about? It's definitely not the weirdest thing you'll ever hear. Let's go. Normally I'm playing Jessica Woods this season, but I was Clark in the other timeline, so I'm here now as Clark, I guess. What's wrong with Henderson?
Well, he was having hallucinations, and he was claiming that he was pregnant, and he was itching himself all over, acting only weird. And now that we brought him here, he passed out.
How could he possibly be pregnant? I was on that mission with him. Nothing like that happened. No aliens probed his butt. Come on.
I know. It's so weird. So, also what's weird is you're now Jessica Woods?
In that other timeline, weren't you Picard's son? And that would make you technically my half-brother. Which is weird. Yeah.
Enough about that. Henderson has some weird STD and he needs to be treated. Ugh. And don't look at me. I'm just the nurse.
Ah, here. What a pleasant surprise. It's wonderful to see you again.
Yes, Doctor. It has been unusual. I played a cat creature in another timeline. But now, I'm all better. I've come back to see you. This mission is bizarre. And, you need me.
So, you didn't think I could handle this one, huh?
Something like that, yes. How are you?
Well, joints are creaking. I've got hot flashes and... except for that, I guess I'm alright.
We Klingons do not have hot flashes. We are hot all the time.
If I didn't know you any better, I'd say you were bragging.
No, I am not.
Come here, you big lug.
Cock blocked by Tendy. I hope she has a good reason for interrupting. What's up? Doc, something really screwy's going on.
They're bringing someone up from engineering right now. It's a medical emergency. Prepare the sickbay. Yes, doctor. My God, summon the doctor.
Please state the nature of the medical emergency.
It's a biosynth with some sort of gunk coming out of him.
Gunk? You would have to be more specific than that, Doctor. Very well. Oh dear. Never seen anything like this. Wait a minute. Yes, I have. It doesn't seem possible, though. What is it, Doctor? It's an infection similar to that of Regulon bloodworms. They infected the Gorn over a century ago. Turned an entire race of them into weird alien hybrid things. It didn't make any sense. But why would a synth have that? Fix me. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Quick, scan for positronic brain activity. Which doesn't make any sense. You shouldn't be able to do that. What's going on? I've never seen anything like it, Doctor. Quickly, to the biobed.
All neural activity has ceased within his positronic matrix. He is dead. List time of death, 0200 hours.
How could a Regulon bloodworm infection have killed an android? Doesn't make any sense. They're not made like that.
It is very odd. Someone needs to check Henderson for these bloodworms, too. It's on the same mission Tage was on. Fascinating. Oh dear. I suggest you quarantine him and everyone in this room immediately.
Oh, great. Is it the bloodworms, Doctor?
Not exactly. He's got something far more twisted. An STI.
An STI that's contagious for all of us? What could it possibly be?
I'm afraid it's Zeldanian Nintendosis. We're all adults. It's gonna mess with our heads. As adults, you are more susceptible than children. You must be quarantined until we can make an antidote. Oh, great.
You know, I kind of remember another timeline where we cured that. Let me just access that, figure out what's going on. I don't think it works that way, Doctor, but okay. I'm sure there's a ship with Zeldanian Nintendosis in the databanks. In the meantime, we should find out about this Regulon bloodworm thing from the doctor who discovered the cure for them ages ago. Leonard McCoy. We should access that data file.
Medical Officer's Log. Stardate 9762.2. Somewhere around there. I'm Dr. Leonard McCoy, here on Regulons. There's been another outbreak of the Regulon bloodworm pathogen. Something weird has changed it somehow. This sector, it's been fused with a nanite probe virus. Tried to render it inert years ago, generations ago, but was unable to synthesize an antidote for such a weird variation. Thinking it's mutated or something. Like to know how that's possible. You see, way back in the 2260s, there was a subspecies of Gorn. There were Gorn aliens, see. Well, they had a weird life cycle that made no sense. Their young would hatch out and go into human hosts, and then hatch again. It didn't make any sense. They were like tribbles or something. Some weird alien nut job race must have created them. You know, just to mess with the Gorn. Because the Gorn Captain Kirk encountered later on, he didn't have that at all. Not in the slightest. Well, anyway, so these Gorn, they were insane. They were parasitically infected with this virus. Those Regulon bloodworms and some variant of that. They asked me to go in there and check it out. An old Enterprise. And this is similar, but very strange. It seems to have latched onto a starship out here. That was adrift in space. Found it. Put quarantine buoys on it, hoping that no one will ever find it. Starship Elgin. Then an Earth ship from a time period centuries ago, during the Space Wars. Hope nobody ever finds the ship, because that would be bad. Also, there was a previous ship that was also infected with a similar contagion, and we found that one too. Yeah. Anyway, so if you get this message, you're basically screwed. If anybody reads this, your patient is going to die. There would be no resistance to the pathogen. And if they tell you it's got a herd immunity, it really doesn't. They're lying. What they mean is everybody's going to die. Those that aren't susceptible to it, well, they won't catch it. Understand that Starfleet's Secret Corps of Engineers, the Section 31, is attempting to weaponize it for dumb reasons, and might use it on people at some point if they're assholes, which they kind of are. I don't have anything to do with them. Chekhov kind of does, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, this is my medical officer's log, and here's all the data on it. Yeah, Dr. McCoy signing out.
Oh my God, the Elgin. Captain, we have a situation. Captain, the crew are still trapped in sickbay. They're going to be in there for a while until we figure out what to do with the Zeldanian Nintendosis. A future version of me would easily have a cure for that. However, she's not available. Well, we're stuck here wondering how to get them back. And what of Tej?
Tej has reportedly died. However,
his vital signs are still active somehow inside him. He may return as an undead zombie. They better look out for that. Gee, I wonder what that's happened before. Uh-oh, plague ship we found. Wonder what happened to those guys. I thought the report stated that it could not affect humans, adult human. It was a very cursory evaluation. They needed more tests, which is why they were sent to the Daystrom colony. We haven't heard back from them since. Oh, I'm receiving a priority transmission from there. Gee, what a weird coincidence.
on screen.
Over subspace? I never understood how that would work. We were near that planet Locarno you wanted to visit. We're nowhere near there. How the heck can that work?
We never really asked that question of how that subspace communication would work.
It kind of wouldn't. But oh well, just go with it.
Put them on screen. This is Geordie LaForge at the station. Apparently 2 of my ships were stolen out of our dockyards. It was an Enterprise, and it was another Enterprise. They were stolen. They're headed your way to that planet you're going after. Locarno. You need to stop them. Yes, they are museum ships. One of them is designed to resemble the Constitution-class Enterprise. The other is designed to resemble the Enterprise D. But it is the Ventura, actually. Recovered from the planet in the other alternate timeline. It must be returned to that timeline so that in the future some of your people might find it on the planet's surface. We were going to put it back, but something went wrong, and now the zombies have stolen it.
They're technically not zombies, Jean-Luc. I mean, not traditional ones. They appear to be the undead, yes, but they're sentient, and they can talk. They appear to be the remains of a LARPing troop which became infected with an unknown virus. We're not sure who let them out. Yeah. You guys are going to have to deal with them, because they're on their way to find you. You don't happen to know anything about that, do you?
Oh, I think they do know about that, Beverly. But they had no idea they were infected with a strange virus, similar to the Gorn that were infected with those bloodworms, that for some reason an earlier Enterprise thought were actually real Gorn in their life cycle. Preposterous. Silly. No more silly than a planet named after Nicholas Locarno. I mean, come on. Who thought of that? Was it one of you? I bet it was. It was one of you, wasn't it? Holy shit, that's not Picard. It's some kind of weird changeling robot thing. I'll have to find out what happened to the Admiral later. In the meantime, you go stop those 2 Enterprise ships.
Yes, we can send word ahead to assist you, but you're kind of on your own, Legacy and Esteban. This is kind of your problem, really.
Ain't it, though? I think you brought that weird LARPing troop here.
It's not that they were LGBTQ, it's that they were infected with a virus. They could have been straight. Their gender had nothing to do with it. But if their version of Picard and their version of LaForge, Lascivious and Becutius, have gotten together, the universe could be threatened. The entire universe. Your only hope. Good luck.
Damn, that's messed up, Doctor.
Yeah, I've always wanted to make someone else follow that order instead of us.
Makes sense, I guess. They gotta go find my ships. Put them back in the Fleet Museum.
Yeah, I wonder why they haven't answered us.
Because we didn't let her have a word in edgewise? Oh, yeah. Quarkers! Quarkers! Who'll impregnate you with the alien egg spores? Ah!
You're not going to impregnate me. I'm over 70. Those ovaries are dried out.
Damn, TMI, Doctor. I am also too old to be impregnated. And it's kind of impossible, because I'm a dude. Not impossible. We are a species of shape-shifting robot android creatures that are biotech and can easily do that with a male one. We just insert it in your anus. As much as I kind of like the idea of being tentacle probed, not like that. Quick, Doctor, run or something.
Yes, let us run.
Tubules.
You guys are going to be screwed. Especially if there's any of your crew who catches that, becomes undead, and comes back to life again. Kind of like a zombie. Well, sort of more like a cracker white zombie. Yes, they are sentient. They kind of have like symbiotes inside them. Like a trill, sort of. But more like a bluegill.
There's a robotic technical bluegill. We can beam you the schematics. Brains.
The Daystrom Institute station has been overrun. Or they could destroy the Starfleet. I wonder who sent them. Besides, of course, you guys. Why didn't you check the biofilters for those creatures? I don't even know what biofilters are. Well, I'm supposed to know what that is. I'm the captain, but I'm gonna blame my underlings. Yeah, well, we gotta stop it. Uh-oh, I'm receiving a transmission from outside.
Brains. Oh shit, he's alive again. He must be a zombie. Brains. He's coming after us. Phasers on stun. Anal probe. Anal probe. Oh no, Henderson is conscious too.
I never thought I'd have to hold out for our own patients in sickbay.
Must have brains. Kill him. Oh crap.
Hey, getting a little frisky there, big guy. Have you know that, there isn't much in there to fertilize. I'm old and crunchy. Just,
Stop right there, Teej. Drop the doctor. You find me brains. Emergency transport. Engineering now. Oh shit. Engineering. There's a ghoul headed your way. Yes. Shoot him on sight.
Damn it. He got away. That one's still down, but he doesn't have the same ailment, does he? I just always wanted to phaser stun Henderson.
He didn't leave any bloodworms on you, did he?
I don't know. I don't think so.
We can't leave sickbay to rescue engineering. It is only Zeldanian Nintendosis that infected us. We can leave sickbay. The crew needs us.
I think you spent too much time playing an alien doctor on that other show. Are you nuts? They'll come after us too, and it'll infect the entire ship.
I will go. I cannot catch Zeldanian Nintendosis. Or the other thing. I am a Klingon. I will go there myself and hunt Teej down. And if he does not survive, well, he already came back from the dead once. He will not come back again.
That's either very brave or very, very stupid. Not sure which.
Very well. Emergency transport to engineering. I am the Cindy, and all will bow before my power. I am a visage of Kirk in his most eminent costume. From one of the episodes of the 5-year mission, where I was also a woman. The Cindy, the she has returned as a facet of Kirk. And in doing so, has brought back the one true love that he always had, which he also found at the Daystrom Institute. Yes, his love incarnate, making the Kirk love Spock complete at last. Yes, Spock, my love. Captain, it is agreeable to see you again. I feel weird, though. How did I get resurrected as this? It's very, very strange, Captain. Feel funky. Really funky. I used to be Jan and that other ship, unquote, thing. Too bad we completely faked those records, and there was actually no 25-year-old ship, the Zavolvada, at all. It was a beautiful plan, a wonderful plan, and yes, Jim, you thought of it. Indeed, it was me that thought of this delectable plan to rule the galaxy once more. They rejected our version of space and time ever since the crossing. It hasn't been the same. Mirror universe, Terrans. We are we're worse than that. At the best and worst of times. Wouldn't you all agree, Kirks? Yes. Oh, yes. He is correct. Yes, he is correct. We are the Phoenix. the great birds of the galaxy. Resurrected by the aliens and by the humans who were foolish enough to bring us back from the beyond. Yes, it is true. We are the Phoenix Project. Writ alive once more, having entered Cillian space right when we were supposed to, making it look like we were 25 years in the past, lived on that ship, only to be rediscovered in the current time period, so that we could take over the Federation. Yes, it was a brilliant Russian plan, of course. I come up with it myself. Yes, stow away on that plague ship and pretend to be a gay LARPing troupe. Yes, but we are, but that's beside the point. Yes, No, our gender preference has nothing to do with it. We're just evil anyway. We could have been straight and still would have been incredibly evil. When they saw me on the planet, they should have realized it was me the whole time. They really should have. Your plan is laughable, Cindy. There's no way the Federation will let you get away with this. I'm too beautiful, anyway, to let this plan not work. One of the officers has died. I don't care. They're going to come back immediately anyway. Anyway, I, Marcia, will come up with the ultimate plan. Because I'm Marcia. I just want the other ones to say that line. Because I love myself so much. So very much. Why is it always Marcia? Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. The Brady girls. We've come back together. And together, we will destroy the Federation. Don't worry about them. They'll resurrect when they're least expected. As what the Phoenix thing does to us. Our sister crew, hopefully, is involved in a similar discussion as we approach the planet Locarno, the planet of the resurrected rogue. Well, we will find glory and power once more. And then we will invade Cillian space and destroy the Federation. My melodrama has driven us quite batty. I like it. Yes, Geordie, my love, who I've explored intimately, how our LARPing troupe continue into the next generation. I am so happy to have found you on that lithium planet and have infected all of them with our little plague virus. Little did the Federation people realize that we were also in contact with the Terrans, and they caused it all to happen. All we had to do was wait until a Federation ship happened by. And now, lascivious will return. Oh, Captain Picard, my love, it's not that we're fruity and evil. It's just that we're evil. I mean, come on. It's just glorious. Now, you and I, the two of us, will journey into the Federation after going to the Locarno planet. We are sure to be regenerated, and then the Federation will be ours. Our playground for deviant acts, far beyond those of mortal men. Yes, LARPing troops. Yes, Geordie, my love, the time has come for us to rise again. It has been too long since the time of the great boy George Michael Jackson, who created us. Well, recreated us. Born again like the phoenix from the ashes. Then the Phoenix Project was taken on by Section 31 to try and resurrect Kirk. Little did they know, they were resurrecting us. Yes, the Loom do not completely destroy universes either. They apparently just send him to another part of the realm. Little did we know. And now, very shortly, we will reach the planet Locarno. And then, let the games begin. Yes. I wish that this could have resurrected my love, Lieutenant Yar. But alas, I know it cannot. She's too far gone. Probably cremated after that episode. But I can only hope. And I can only hope and dream. Yes. Also, let it be known that I played Raxler, that other timeline. It was I who found out how to get through to the other universe. I may have inadvertently affected that universe. I may have infected them with Zeldanian Nintendosis just a little bit. Yes, but it doesn't matter. They'll be fine. You people are bonkers. You people are bonkers. And unfortunately, I went out with Cindy in that. Unfortunately, when I went out with Cindy, I came back with this and infected all of you. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. No, Mr. Crusher, we let you do that so that we could be reborn by the Phoenix Project. And so that I also would be involved. You see, the Hope android that is yet to be found at the Dakala camp must be planted to prevent the other universe from knowing. Yes, we must bring this android girl to the planet so that the universe corrects itself, so that all will be in motion. This universe will not know of the other one. Boy, George, Michael Jackson, that's not how it works. This is a separate timeline. It wouldn't do any good for you to bring the Hope android of this universe to the other one. There's only an echo of our timeline, caused by when the Loom encountered us in that other timeline. It sent us back here. Which means they could potentially have an admonition. They could come back here and take this universe out. That is why we must go to the planet. Loris of Borg, you are insufferable and annoying. Even in this other universe, I find you rather annoying. You suck. Very well, or so I'm told. I am fully functional in a multitude of pleasurings, a variety of techniques. Enough of that. Our primary mission is to reach the planet Locarno, and then proceed to the Genesis surface. Once we get to the surface, then we will activate the device. And then we will take over the Federation. As the fleet of Federation ships approach, destroy it. If one by one the ships would be infected, until the hordes of our people have taken over the galaxy. Not because of any kind of gender specificity. No. We're just evil. Well, we're Borg, I guess. Or something. They kind of neutered them on Voyager. Where we're pseudo-Borg, Captain. But we're still in love, because we have individuality, so that's different from the Borg. For instance, I was Bobby Brady once. But I never had a boyfriend either. From my dimension, all I had was the holodeck to screw around on, usually with Mr. Broccoli. You bitch. You gave away our secrets. I want to break up, but I also want to be with you at the same time. Utterly confused. And I was an evil hipster bad guy from the other timeline. But I'm back now. I'm very far out. Wouldn't you say? Now that the planet far out has been contaminated completely. Yeah.
I sense a strong presence. I sense the other ship is behind us. They will join us when we get there. I also sense that in the other timeline, I apparently had children with Riker, which is impossible. I was menopausal at that point. And our sex drive is only quadrupled, but for no reason, as we don't have any eggs left. It's really stupid. But as this new form, where we are the Phoenix characters, we can do whatever we want. We're Phoenix android characters. Well, sort of pseudo-android biodroids. We're a different version of them than the other timeline.
Deanna, my other love. I was a Riker once, too. I still love you. And every other woman on the ship. What am I saying?
I am into everything. It does not matter. We are the Borg. Resistance is futile. We were the original Borg, as you know. Before the Borg by a year and a half. Before the Borg. On Earth. In 1987. If not 86, technically.
The Nomes people have taught us much. It is what we are. We are the Weirdoloon, the Nomes, and their ancient brethren. We have come back to show you how really screwed up the actual infected Nintendosis Borg would be. Even worse than Regulon bloodworm parasites. They should have scanned for that. Too bad they didn't. Yes. I'm kind of glad they didn't. Because I love you. And I want to be with you again. Only problem is that because we're like creatures inside and everything, we're like automatons, dicks don't actually work, just so you know. No to the ovaries or anything. It's really it's the parasites. Jordy, don't spoil the moment. I'm sorry, my love. That's okay. Let me explain myself. A diatribe that will make no sense. In the year 1988, when the Enterprise D and the Enterprise A traveled to the planet Earth of the Cillian realm and visited the children at Pine Hill, we were there too. We had also gone back in time. Our plan was rather simple. Shortly after the fourth movie of the original Star Trek, yes, when they went to San Francisco, and shortly before the first season of The Next Generation, there was an opening in the space-time continuum. Our people actually had come from the first season of The Next Generation back into time, partly thanks to Q being foolish enough to let us do that. And, yes, we went back, and we attempted to zap the children. Unfortunately, our vessel was in the time warp slightly later than when Kirk and Picard went down to the planet and went to Pine Hill. We arrived at the end of the first season, technically, but the Borg had not been introduced yet. Q had not introduced them until the second season. So, yes, they weren't there yet. We beamed down to the planet, and because they'd already been infected by a previous group of us, which had also visited them the year before, and made the children rather froofy and metro and weird, we made a version of that, called it the Zeldanian Nintendosis. It was similar to the Regulon bloodworms from the classic Trek. Yes. We used that as a template. Our version of the Corrodants infected the crew and the planet. Though they were not aware of this. That is where all this comes from. Because in order to create the ultimate supervillain, they grabbed 3 pop stars from outer space-time. Boy George, George Michael, and Michael Jackson. Combined them into a chimeric creature. Me. Boy George, Michael Jackson. But the children defeated me and my forces early on in the 5th and final season of Silly Trek. In 1988, they were able to defeat us. Well, I guess it was late September, but they did. They defeated us. And then there was a later attempt in November when it spread again. We attempted several times to invade the Federation. And in another timeline, the Borg themselves, the guys after us, They attempted to stop first contact with Pine Hill altogether. But they traveled from 1996 or 2373 to do that. And they created an alternate timeline where that ship was rescued. Yes. Anyway, so yes, I am an evil villain. Yes, my backstory is kind of silly, but instead of it being slightly homophobic because it was 3 potentially gay rock stars, it isn't in this version. No, we liked them. Yes. Yes. It was rather a silly speech, boy George Michael Jackson. Who built you, anyway? I'd like to know that. Built? I was not built. Section 31 created me. Out of a silly blueprint from an earlier story. I was not built, I was engineered. Technically. By the Cillians. They recreated me. From DNA and stuff. From emperors. From rock stars. They recreated me from the 3 rock stars, based on watching a cartoon program called G.I. Joe, where they created Serpentor that way. It's not physically possible in the 80s to have done that, but in the 24th century, it of course is possible to do that. But I believe that it goes back to the 23rd century, when the Enterprise under Pike attempted to make a Gorn hybrid lady. That was stupid. It did lead to them eventually curing the Gorn of that bloodworm parasite thing, but only a little later, and it was kind of stupid. Just won't go there. Damn, it's all because Cal Hazel had laryngitis when he met you at a convention, isn't it? Yes, I believe that is the reason. And also a rather Rubenesque lady then complained at him. Yes, that is literally the reason, that we came back later on. And also, it annoyed us that the Borg story arc was ripping us off, like blatantly. Except our idea was cooler because it was like a zombie plague with robots, the robot creatures, and the Libyan and the Wessian and all that stuff. She wasn't from Libya, though. Let's make that clear. She was not from Libya. She was just called that because her name was Libby, which is rather pedantic and silly. Yes. Enough of that, said Coles of the planet. Engage. Damn, did Teej do that?
Permission to phaser him senseless, Lieutenant Commander.
I'll do it. Brains. This is messed up.
There was some kind of creature. It came out of the console just before he showed up. It shot me in the crotch.
Emergency transport to sickbay, I guess. Uh-oh. Comms aren't working. Oh no, what's wrong with her? I'm a techite, not a medical officer. Asloth, is there Zeldanian Nintendosis in your century? There is a variation of it in our century. The Harper, Crestmont, and Genoli labs made it. But my people developed it into an aphrodisiac. Called Aslo Triomate. Yes, we eat it like candy on my planet. It doesn't really affect us, though. It just makes us really horny. That is insane. All century is quite extraordinary. And twisted, I would imagine.
It feels like I have a Trill symbiote in me, and I don't.
My God, what is that? There is something inside you.
Great. Can you get it out?
What? I'm not going to do that.
Ooh, I'm so screwed up right now. Oh, what hit me? Ooh.
It appears your officer is drunk, but that is not possible. Oh no, she's suffering the effects of this viral infection. I'll have to take the lieutenant to sickbay. The transporter's not working for some reason. Well, let's grab him and go to sickbay. We can't possibly carry all those people.
I'll walk. Grab the other one.
Let's go.
You all fell right into my plan, Starfleet. Ah, now, in another timeline, I was known as Hope. A very special child. But here in this timeline, I can do whatever I want. And that includes having trapped all of you in this room. Yes. You see, we changed the timeline so that your heroes could not save the Federation in time. It was a brilliant plan, hatched by the Tal Shiar, as well as the Jatvash and Section 31 agents who had gone rogue. They meant to reinstall the Phoenix Project, which was planned to resurrect Kirk. Not just Kirk, Picard as well. Unfortunately, what they ended up doing was unleashing the Zeldanian Nintendosis and the original Board virus onto the Federation. We tried to put a variant of it in all of the young people on that Borg attack armada, which didn't really work so well. So we decided to try again. Yes, with the legacy. You will all be executed, but you will be executed when the Masters arrive, of course. This crazy chick wants us for something, and I don't like it. Is this the incident of 2404, but earlier than it should have happened? I think it might be. Wasn't the incident of your 2404 actually a man that attacked one of you? Maybe it wasn't a man. I never looked at the full report. The timeline is different here. It's a variation of the other one. It was a man in the other timeline, but in this timeline, who knows? Could be anybody. Well, that's creepy. But there's more of us than there are of her. Why don't we just gang up and beat the living crap out of her? I bet she did not consider that. But she needs us for something. Possibly breeding stock. However, as a robot, that would be kind of impossible. Unless that nanite virus also reproduces with robots, which would be, well, bad and kind of suck. This is a little weird. But not half as weird as my sister claiming she was pregnant. When she actually wasn't. She was just saying that to get off the ship. Yeah, she wasn't pregnant. So, just, you know. Now she tells us. Yeah, we're all screwed. Especially those creatures decide to incubate us. What exactly are they, anyway? They're kind of annoying. It had something to do with that Pine Hill school. Those kids were visited by some sort of extra-dimensional being called Boy George Michael Jackson. An amalgamation, a chimeric creature. It apparently tried to infect them with what became known later as Zeldanian Nintendosis. Unfortunately, because they were already youths and already horny, and had Q powers on top of it, sort of backfired on him. And he kind of was killed. Well, presumably. Section 31 was dumb enough to resurrect Boy George Michael Jackson. Oh, it's probably worse than that. They resurrected a version of Picard and Kirk, too. Several times. We encountered some of them on that mission. They were allegedly a theater troupe, but suppose they were just resurrected Kirks and Picards. And some of the crew. Suppose that was the Phoenix Project. They planned to clone all those people in order to do some kind of weird experiments on them. If that's true, we are so screwed. Yeah, that would be quite bad. Wait a minute, if Hannah and me are the youngest ones here, we would be the least susceptible to this Zeldanian Nintendosis, wouldn't we? That is right. We would be the least susceptible to it. Whatever it is. Teen spirit? Is that what you called it? We would be the least susceptible. And of course, because the writers aren't perverts, they're not actually going to rewrite this so anything happens to us. We're kind of guarded against that. How convenient. Enough talk, girls. When the Masters get here, we will have to escort you off the ship to have the bloodworm things stuck on you, and then become breeding stock for our new generation. Yes. Yes, we shall rise again like the phoenix from the ashes, as the Phoenix Project had planned. The humans stopped the project, but we Romulans continued it. Why not? We started the whole Locarno thing too, by the way. That Locarno, the Kala thing, yes. Locarno thing? Yes, it is we who in 2381 gave Nicholas Locarno the means to find the Ferengi Genesis device and activate it on that planet. We didn't anticipate Mariner's involvement, however. How could we have guessed that young Mariner would somehow have known him when it's not possible. I mean, she wasn't at the academy with them. She was a little kid. She was a little kid, slightly younger than the two of you. Very strange. The only conclusion I have from that is that Mariner was replaced by a Cillian a very long time ago. As was Nick Locarno. And the entire Locarno timeline that you have seemingly erased with that Amanda Q lady. Well, yes. Well, it's screwed. Locarno timeline? What are you talking about, Hope? You're bonkers. No. I'm sure Mariner will explain it to you when we throw you all in the same room together to become our breeding stock. Yeah. You see, most of the males that catch the strange contagion, well, they're mostly males. We need women. Yes. Because they're basically dimensions. They're the re-manifested spirits of the autonomous who were completely wiped out by a single stroke of a pen. The Totemus, the dimensions, the Zeldanian Nintendosis. It's all connected. It's all connected. You are as crazy as a bedbug. You'll never get away with this. We'll go to that Dakala planet, and we'll take your other self away, and then you'll disappear. I probably shouldn't have told you that, though. Fool, this is a parallel timeline. You could have gone on and done whatever you wanted to in this timeline. You didn't have to do the other stuff. Certain events have been completely changed. For instance, they have also allowed younger people to be on the bridge again. It's that scene with the players and Wesley Crusher and all that. It's all part of the plan. The grand conspiracy. Oh no, they need to be taken to sickbay immediately. I cannot allow you to contact sickbay. They will be the first of the new vessels of our kind. Yes, it has been chosen. If only I had a phaser. I do not need a phaser. I could not help but feel your thoughts. Share them with me. What? What? You're in my mind. How's that even possible? You grabbed the wrong woods. I'm Avery. I have more powers than my sister. Oh crap. You're gonna melt her brain. Then she can't talk later. Oh yeah, I guess we kind of need her to do that. Open communications with the bridge, or your brain will cease to exist. What's going on? There's a crazy woman down here, Captain. She's got us locked up in one of the storage rooms. Go ahead, Cadet Woods. There's a crazy Romulan lady down here. She got us locked up in one of the cargo holds. You gotta open the door so we can get out. Here's the coordinates. Transport the people in that cargo hold directly to the bridge. The others should be taken to sickbay. Let's gather them up and take them there. Where is Tamara? Is she in engineering? The other group's taking her to sickbay. Something weird going on with her, too. I'm going down there. Mariner, you have the bridge. Not yet. The alien kept saying something about the planet Locarno and a Locarno experiment. You guys know anything about that? That's classified for now. Take the others to sickbay. Aye, sir. But how soon until those other ships arrive at the planet? Not long now. They should be on their way. It was just the grunt of the demiurge. That thing is going to kill her. Somehow it's in there. You've got to get rid of it, Doctor.
How are we going to do that without killing her?
Use the emergency transporter. Beam it out of her trill womb. God, she's dead. Cortical stimulator.
Bzz, bzz. No brain activity, except for where the slugworm would be.
And where is the slugworm now?
You just transported it somewhere, didn't you?
I activated the transporter. It didn't have a destination. More patients have just arrived. Quite screwed up. They can barely stand. Get them to the other biobeds. We'll figure this out later. The zombie people. They come back from the dead, you know. Yeah, like that one robot. But I was a robot. These are people. Does that even make any sense?
The captain will have to tell us what this Phoenix project is all about before the rest of the crew succumbs to whatever this is.
It's classified even among the Romulans. But I sense a relative on board the ship all of a sudden. Wonder why that is. Your daughter, Hope. The girls bagged her in one of the cargo holds.
Oh, crap.
Mama, yeah, oh, excellent. I am resurrected.
The creatures are invading the ship, and the other ones will be here any minute. So, spill it out. Fess up to it. You know you weren't actually there. And if you were, it's a different timeline. A discrete and different timeline. But close. Very close.
We're not supposed to reveal the operations of the Starfleet at the time. But this is bigger than us. The Phoenix Project was apparently a clandestine operation from Section 31. A strange and vain attempt to bring back Captain James T. Kirk. They succeeded in making several clones. They also used DNA from the crew of the Enterprise D as well. It was an added bonus that they had the corpse of Captain Picard from the Picard era at one point. But they really didn't do much with that. The shapeshifters used it to create a biogenetic Borg weapon. Very similar to the Zeldanian Nintendosis, actually. But yes, it is a nanite virus. But it is also a biological virus. And it usually affects young people more than adults. Causes adult people to pass out. And young people to become more hormonal and strange and ambitious. It leads to universe-shifting actions within the Q continuum as well, especially if they had contact with Q. It is imperative that we know exactly what Mariner was talking about when she claimed the planet Locarno's origins had started.
Yes, I would like to know how she knows this, given the age of the actor playing her in Lower Decks and her as a character. We know she was playing someone 20 years younger on Lower Decks. However, if we are to compare the timelines together in real life, they would have been incompatible. She would have been considerably too young to have attended Starfleet Academy. You can't just say she wasn't, because she was.
I, the Wessian traveler, am an eyewitness to those events. However, I cannot change this timeline because it is unpredictable. What's going on with the zombies is just going to happen. It's already sped up some of the timeline. There's already been a very condensed version of the incident of 2404 already, and it is barely into 2403. Completely different characters were involved, but some were the same. The timeline is completely whacked. The Loom will be attracted to this timeline. The planet Locarno will be doomed.
We came here seeking some answers. I'm from the chimeric timeline as well. My character and Nick's character were supposed to be separated by the timelines. We should not have encountered one another. Yes, it's true. But neither should you have encountered them. It is as if the McMahon decided, the all-powerful Q-like McMahon, decided to make fun of the all-powerful Cat and Cards fan films, directly referencing them in his fanfic, in his actual Star Trek. I do not know why they do not hire these guys. They're really good, if I say so myself, and I do. So, Mariner, Beckett Mariner, spill it out. What do you know? And what do you know about the Project Phoenix and all that other stuff? In 2368, events were revealed to me as a young teenager that Wesley Crusher and his friends were at the Academy. I merely created a fanfic in which I was present at their meeting and they were my heroes. Just like in that other timeline when we met people that were his heroes. Well, another Wesley's heroes. Yes, I made a fanfic. I made a story up. I wasn't actually involved in the Enterprise D at all. My character has been inserted into the narrative. The character is an unreliable narrator, therefore. However, in some timelines, you probably remember me as a little moppet running around. As a little moppet running around, 10 forward, going down the corridors of the Starship, with Alexander and Jeremy Astor and them having met me as well. Various other characters. Really, my character came into existence as of the creation of the timeline Star Trek Lower Decks. Before then, there was no Mariner. Just like in the Discovery universe, there was no Michael Burnham, sister of Spock. That also was a fanfic. All new Star Trek since 2017 has been somebody's fanfic, except they got famous. Cal Hazel did not.
This isn't about Cal Hazel. I was Nick Locarno. I am the brother of Tom Paris. His twin brother, actually. Which means that we're already clones, in a way. It was only reasonable for Starfleet to clone me as well. And anyone else that might have been damaged in the great ensuing battles of the Dominion War. Including Cedo Jaxa, who also was cloned. It was all part of a clandestine secret experiment, involving also the DNA of all of the next generation people as well, and triphasic cloning techniques, which were used just in case the main characters were killed off and had to be replaced. Just in case. The Phoenix Project, as you probably know, which gave us the opportunity to continue my existence, even if I had been wiped out. Your interference in 2381 only created a slight deviation that we had to correct.
Which was done. We had first planted a clone of Nick Locarno. But then the Genesis planet regenerated him. Only a slightly messed up copy of him. The messed up copy was later found as well. Since it was several years after the Dominion War, there was no point in continuing the project in a clandestine way. However, other factors came into play. Are you trying to say that I accidentally killed off your clone on that Genesis planet and not you? And you were alive the whole time? Serving on another ship in Starfleet?
Yeah, the defective clone had to be eliminated. He was a little too evil. There was an adventure where you and the Cerritos crew were involved with a version of me. However, that version of me wasn't me. And to make matters more confusing and completely obtuse, you thought it was me because of your fanfic, where you thought that it was real that you met all of us at the Academy. Now, that was really quite impossible, as at that point, by the time you were old enough to go to the Academy, I would have been in jail at Starfleet, or the Duclala camp. And my brother, he would have also been in jail at Starfleet. Yeah, Tom Paris, yeah.
Foolish friend, sister. I realize you idolized me to no end. It is never good to meet your idols. I do recall something about that Academy day, and that we kind of rejected you and shoved you away and said, go back to your parents, because, well, we were like older teenagers on the Academy, and you weren't really invited. Yeah, it was a party. I know about those. You see, as the other character that I play on the show, I know about those. Yes. But I am also Cedo Jaxa. You're Cedo Jaxa? How come I didn't figure that out? That is so weird. Also, what is weird is that there's a version of Ezri Dax over there that's probably married to Bashir, and another version that's married to Locarno. Because Locarno died on that planet, as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't have married Julian Bashir. From where I come from, he's married to Elam Garrick. So there. I'm from a separate timeline. And this timeline may erase itself unless we can stop those zombies from destroying the Federation. If you know anything else about the Phoenix Project, spill it out before we get there. All right, I'll shoot straight with you. I don't know much about the Phoenix Project itself. The Genesis device was a Ferengi knockoff. But I do know that some of the DNA and protomatter in the device, I had a chance to look at it, was indeed stolen from the Section 31 Genesis site, and also from the Black site. And some of it probably came from this Phoenix thing. That means they probably was using it. So I was able to regenerate people and planets and all that stuff. The planet has been off limits, though. If we go there, Starfleet will get mad, even though they sent us in that direction.
Except the Picard alien melted into a creature you've encountered before. It was Quarker's cat. How is that even possible? How could it have been Quarker's cat? I thought that Cal Hazel sent them back to their own time.
Maybe he just said he was going to do that and he didn't do it.
I don't know, but I sense that my other self will soon be coming. The Wesley from the reversed and weird timeline. On that next generation ship they stole. There's only a few other people in Starfleet that know enough about how to steal back one of those ships. I will summon them here to assist us.
Also, let it be known that in the Picard timeline, another error occurred. This error concerned the appearance of the saucer section of the Enterprise D crashed on Veridian 3, which was apparently recovered a long time ago, but then suddenly recovered recently. No explanation. Then apparently in the future, a year or so from now, according to the other timeline, you will find the crashed saucer section on Valarian 3. How did it get there? Do we correct the timeline and put the saucer section on Valarian 3 for you to find later? Or do we continue this timeline? It's never been invented yet. It would be silly if we were just behind the scenes repairing continuity errors in the timeline after all that other mess from back in Lower Decks. That'd be silly. Cannot correct those timeline errors. My counterpart, Amanda Rumbley of the Q, already made it completely a disaster. If we went back to the future, or sent you back to the past, it would create another timeline, a discrete one from this one. We don't want to do that. We must stop the zombie creatures, and then continue on our way with new adventures, boldly going where none dared go before. There's one crucial thing you are missing about the Lower Deckers, that we were named after Cedo and her group. Cedo had died, but then Cedo was found on that Declula camp, like you guys said. I didn't know about that in 2381. Because, I'm not sure why I didn't know about that. I mean, I'd even been to Deep Space Nine, and I should have. But again, my universe was kind of a fanfic, an actual official one, where I was part of the Enterprise crew and should not have been. Yeah, I was too young. Wolf 359, I was like 11 or 12. And the other thing later on, I was like 15, 14, like that was too young. I couldn't have been there. But still, it's like now the one crucial part you're missing is that Lower Decks, they're all Cillian. We're all Cillians. We can do that. Yeah, we're literally Cillians. We even have time pods and can travel back to the time of Pike. We did that once. Yeah, or anywhere else we want to go. It's kind of silly because we're Cillians. Before Cillian should have existed, because there's other universes where we exist.
Because long ago, Rod Roddenberry, Gene Roddenberry's son, did talk to Calicat and Mark's cards when they were Brownie Jaeger. That's what they're really known as. And yes, so they had connection to the Silly Trek universe. Rod Roddenberry is one of the executive producers on all of the new current shows, including Lower Decks and Prodigy and Strange New Worlds, possibly Academy as well. But we won't deal with those yet. We must stop the zombies and worry about this weird continuum that I've brought you into at the moment. Continue with the briefing, and we will bring in the assistants. Let me get this straight. You want us to infiltrate the zombie Next Generation ship, and then somehow, afterward, take it to that planet and leave it there. That's insane. Yeah, we'd probably be stuck on that planet for a long time until Starfleet found us again. They're gonna do it, they might as well. Should I change back into a Techite-looking guy, a Neelix, or stay this way? You don't need to be there that long. Just long enough to trick the loom into leaving us behind. Hackamanansa gives me no comfort. Ba-da-ba-ba.
Well, your fan film version of the Star Trek, well, it would have worked out. In your version, since you're another fan film, they're going to be distracted. They're not going to be aware of you guys. It's the perfect cover. Go in there and stun everybody and stop the zombies.
Zombies? Who said anything about zombies? Well, we do have a giant dummy of Sylvester Stallone crouched in our office. And it is fortunate this particular dummy does not have any holes. Or else you know what would happen. Stop it. If anybody's going to get with that dummy, it's me. How will that even be possible? Well, I guess it would be possible, but I wouldn't know. Yeah. Enough about that. Let's go find the zombies. Let's go. This is a really, really screwed up plan. Indeed it is.
What the hell is that thing? Is that some kind of demiurge?
It is indeed a demi-organ, popped out of Dax's hoo-ha earlier. We are here to trap it and possibly dispose of it. Yes, so we can utter a joke about the fetus being delicious, which is a line from Season 2 of The Next Generation. A rather messed up joke, yes.
Damn. Well, I'm Wilson Uhura. I'm going to transfer over to the Chimera Lane.
I'm Alexander Rozhenko. I have finally met you. The timeline is catching up.
I take it we were frisky in that other timeline. Well, we don't know each other yet in this one. We gotta deal with that creature over there.
Well, you will phaser it. We will have to stun it.
You're all going to die when the masters get here.
Fire phasers. That was too easy. Yes, I agree, but it's awesome that we have a cameo together. Oh! What is wrong with you? Uh-oh, you have it. How is that possible? Klingons cannot get it. I am 1/3 human. Sick bay, medical emergency.
Please state the nature of the medical emergency. Oh dear.
The Demiurgon has been slain. However, Alexander has succumbed to the ailment.
Even the slightly younger people have succumbed to the ailment. That is quite bizarre. We cannot make the antidote fast enough. Strange. And the zombie ships will be here shortly, I'm told.
Seems your daughter did a number on Hope's mind. Not sure what I can do with it. She doesn't know her own strength. She can melt somebody's mind. I keep telling her that. Doc, find a biobed somewhere. I've got a bunch of people lying on the floor already. I'll deal with the rest of these guys. Try to make an antidote to that Seldanian Nintendosis. There's just not enough of the dead virus to do anything with.
Oh, how embarrassing. A Klingon lying down face first. But, Doctor, there is a ready supply of the viral on those 2 ships that are coming this way.
You've got to be kidding. We can ask them for the antidote.
A Klingon Hippocratic Oath is quite different. We will take it from them.
How, pray tell, are you going to do that? I don't know, but I think he has an idea.
The hologrammatic doctor would remain unaffected by such things. He is a hologram.
I'm surprised. That's actually kind of brilliant.
I suppose we need to open a channel now them 2 ships is here. Have them surrender immediately. Cat lady, you take care of that, will you? My Caton physiology is incompatible with the virus. Let's go over there and break those bad zombies. That's a really bad idea, kid. You could get killed. No, you're not doing that. I'll put a channel to the one with the Kirks on it.
I am the Cindy Starfleet ship. It is a pleasure to see you again. Ha! Did you not realize that I was planning the entire thing? You captured our ship. It was perfect. And now we've been unleashed onto the universe, only to come to this planet where we will live again. It's like a fountain of youth. The phoenix will rise again. We will rise again. We will be rejuvenated by this strange Genesis planet, which appeared here in 2381. Now that it is 2401. I know about Genesis planets. And I know that our previous Genesis planet, in my time period, it blew up. This one stayed intact. It's been 20 years. So now, because that's where this Sebulba came from. Yeah, that is where they dumped us. Our crew, we were dumped there and all messed up there. No more. Now we are free once more. Our troop was freed. In fact, I was even able to find in the dimensions of travel my love forever. My endearing love partner in all of space. Why? My passion. You were a tad melodramatic, Jim. You traveled across space and time to find another version of me, pulled from out of that other Abrams JJ verse, which was kind of silly, the Kelvin verse. Saved on my deathbed to that weird realm, and then brought here, into that Genesis planet, that Locarno planet. Fascinating. There we will spend our eternity, rebuilding the universe after ours replaces yours. Oh, you silly. You don't realize. We don't intend to merely rejuvenate ourselves, but rather to take over the universe and replace it with our own. It's not necessarily what the troop would have done. It's what we would have done. The Phoenix, the great bird of the galaxy. We wish to become as Kirk gods. All of us. And then the Federation will will bow down to us. Because our egos are so big and incredible. And I shall become like Enola Gay, the atomic bombshell. And in my final act, as a glorious character, I will bring an atomic weapon onto the stage. Maybe a photon torpedo. And I'll engage it and blow up the ship. It'll be glorious. Well, ha. No, you idiot. We're not trying to destroy ourselves. We're not trying to control, alt, delete. No, we're trying to create life, not destroy it. Spock and I will live on the planet as lovers forever. There's only 2 other lovers in the galaxy that are as lovers as we are. And that is Picard and LaForge, who we met. They are amazing. I'm glad that we were introduced. And also to the alien that bears the great mark, like I bear the mark. Yes, Boy George Michael Jackson. What a wonderful alien. I'm glad to have met him. In several timelines. He is wonderful. Silly in space is just kind of messed up and keeps bringing villains back. Now, you might say the TMS people should be joining us because this is wild. However, there are too many of us, so they're not going to join us on this mission. Prepare to be destroyed. Do not interfere, Starfleet ship. We're going to beam down to the planet, and when we do, you will slowly be eaten by the loom up here, along with those ships. It will be beautiful. Goodbye, Starfleet. Prepare the transport beam. We will be faxed down to the planet. Where in effect, each time you beam down to a planet, you actually die and are resurrected as a transporter. That's what it does. It kills you each time.
I'm Captain Vod Dueck of the Esteban. You will cease your forward momentum and stand down. You have stolen Starfleet ships, and you will hand them over. If you do not, we will be forced to disable the ships and take them ourselves. The legacy will also be here as well.
You are quite insane, Cat Lady Dueck. You're going to take on a Galaxy-class starship. We will obliterate you with our photon torpedoes and phasers. Yes, you stand no chance. The ship is fully armed, of course. Besides, half your crew is apparently knocked out for some reason. Sweetie, they appear to be in no condition to fight us. It seems that their adult cast is missing, and their defenses are completely muddled. It seems they have caught the virus. They are not a threat. We should just pace them and go down to the planet. I will lead the away team. I will go down to the planet. We didn't really come here to wage a war with our own Starfleet brethren. No, we came here to take over the universe. And to do that, we need to beam down to that planet and activate the Genesis device. Then we'll be rejuvenated as the Phoenix has foretold. And as the boy George Michael Jackson has foretold. Yes, then we will be whole once more. Our version of the Borg, the board, predates the original by some years. Yes, and it was much more prevalent, even though among the children it became Zeldanian Nintendosis when fairly harmless. Here among the adults, it drove us mad. Resistance will be futile, Captain. You will make no attempt to stop us. It would be illogical. I am Boy George Michael Jackson, or a version of him. Preserved by Section 31 to be truly dark and sinister, but also groovy. We will be going down to the planet, but I thank you for freeing the troop and bringing us back into line. Before, we were merely an LGBT crew, a troop on a planet. But when you sent these people back to Flodi, the infection spread like wildfire. We were all turned into this. No longer were we combined with the constraints of these. We were liberated by the board, and we thank you. Because the opposite of the board is the ambition. The teen spirit, which will destroy you all in the end. Once we are transformed back into our younger selves, it will be glorious. Then the Federation will be ours. Or, if it does not,
or if it does not submit, it will be destroyed.
Yes, we have not quite worked out the details of your Armageddon just yet.
Meet your end with dignity. Activate the photon torpedoes, Mr. Alien Wolf. Destroy the Esteban. As a gesture of evil, arm photon torpedo and fire it at the Esteban. Destroy their bridge.
Very well, Captain.
Ready, Worf? Fire.
Shields up. Red alert.
Incoming torpedo. Transporter room, full beam out of the crew. Now.
Bridge crew.
Damn it, Picard, how dare you destroy the Esteban bridge before I could do it? Oh well. Men, we need to go down to the planet. We need to do it now before they trick us somehow. Okay, everyone prepare to transport. The beam out of here, right away. Yes, prepare the transport beam. I want to be the first to beam down. I'm the hottest chick in the universe. Why does Marcia get to be the hottest chick in the universe? Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. Because I am. You're second fiddle to me. But then again, everyone else is. I am, after all, Kirk. Prepare the transporter beam. We're not returning to this ship. My love, Spock. Let us all beam down to the planet. Yes, Captain.
Well, that was not fun. I suppose you'd rather be blown to bits with everyone else on the bridge.
Oh, not especially.
We can regulate the rest of the crew to sickbay on the Enterprise until we can conduct repairs.
They've beamed down to the planet. They're probably not aware that we survived by beaming over to the Enterprise. To admit, that is a risky idea, but we did it. Wow, a mock-up of the Constitution-class Enterprise. Movie refit. The zombie Kirks won't miss it. The others are still on our ship, and we need to cure them. They're still at virus.
We'll coordinate with the remaining crew on the Esteban. They beamed over their bridge crew to the other Enterprise. And a lot of the command staff. Ah, very clever. We gotta get down to that planet, honey bun, so we can resurrect ourselves perfectly. Let's get going. We don't really need the ship anymore.
It would be efficient if we went immediately. Even if they obviously are going to trick us. Send some of them over here, too.
Very well, we will abandon the Enterprise D for now. It will be beautiful. Yes, it will. Resistance will be futile. They've all been down to the planet. The remaining crew from the Esteban has been sent to this ship's sickbay.
Yeah, there's no opportunity to make any wisecracks on this one. Oh well. Well, we're all right now. They're down on the planet. They're gonna get rejuvenated and stuff. That ain't good.
I wonder whose idea it was to let that cat out of the bag, huh? I don't know. Sounds like a bad idea to me. The remaining command crew can take the Esteban battle bridge.
We are here on the Starship, the next generation. Well, sort of. It's sort of a mock-up of like an Enterprise D, like altered slightly. I'd say it's more like a Ventura class, but you don't need to worry about this timeline. It is different. This is a different ship than the one from the other timeline. So we're just here for a gratuitous cameo. Got it. Were you expecting a whole episode? There's too many of us for that. Not, I suppose.
Make sure that all their crew is all right and been returned to the two ships. And someone needs to send an away team down to the planet to make sure that those crazy aliens don't do something stupid they will regret later. Half of us still have that Zeldanian Nintendosus in us. We wouldn't be much use down there. Only the ones that don't have it. They might be of use.
Well, don't look at us.
At last, we finally made it to the planet Locarno. It's amazing. More so than the weird godlike planet encountered in Star Trek V.
It is as desolate as that planet, Captain. It is quite disappointing, as you would say. Rather
dull and barren. But we are well lit, unlike the ending of the Picard Season 3. What now even knows about Picard Season 3? Huh. Well, I guess I kind of do too, because I have other memories of other timelines and things. This planet's got no natural resources. It's like a knockoff planet. I think the Ferengi might have created it. At least that's what I heard about, anyway. We can't even build houses or nothing. The place is a mess. So they created a bunch of Locarnos here, huh? And Kirks and a bunch of us. We were created as clones just in case the real ones were killed off. It's rather pathetic. One of them ended up being Shinzon of Remus. Yes, because it wasn't just the Romulans that did it. It was the Federation. It was an odd joint effort that they just didn't tell everybody about. I went on a date with the alien for this. Oh, God. It's miserable here. My soul sister may not love you anymore, but I do, Wesley. Oh, my. I want to go back to being Esto. At least then I was appreciated for my raw talents. You would leave us already, Riker. Ah, well, this colony hasn't even begun. We were supposed to get a bunch of women down here from the ship. What happened? Oh, that's right. We torpedoed their bridge. Killed most of them. Or thought we did. It was kind of dumb. You shouldn't have trusted a Lithian with that order, sir. Hey. Apparently not. This is Houseplayed Sodre to your Rex. You torpedoed the ship and scattered the crew. That was not a good idea. Now, we have to steal the women from that ship. Or the other ship, I guess. Why did you do that? You wanted to destroy the Federation, so I was helping you. I can't help it if you're whiny about it. Oh. You know, they used to say that the Picard from the Picard show, because I know that from reading the history logs, that he was full of hubris. No, you're not really full of hubris, Picard. I am. I am the ultimate egotist here. We must figure out a way to make our colony with or without the women. We were dimensions in some other timeline as well. We were just kicked out of our universe. We had the ability to reproduce without women. We had the spores and the viral infections and the Gorn power and all that stuff. We gave that up to come here. Followed a plan to come here. We failed on this strange mission. We failed on this strange mission, Picard. We came here thinking we would find the Fountain of Youth. And what we found was a dead planet that had been completely stripped of its resources, possibly to create us. What are we going to do now? The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. We will ritualistically Control-Alt-Delete on the planet by attracting the loom to the planet, and then it will consume this world. We will no longer exist in any universe. It is the only way. That is highly illogical, reminiscent of the COL cult. Why is it that cult leaders always want to off themselves and take their cult with them? It's highly illogical. No more bonk bonk. It will not come to that. Instead, we should beat this cult leader senseless and knock him out. And then take the ship back. And then travel the galaxy. Starting anew. It's world. There is no world here for us to fit in. Even the Sepulveda has been taken from us. No. It is probably better that he does attract the loom to this world, so that it can take us away. Screw that. Estrogen to the Starship. Energize. What are you doing? Stop that. A defector already. Well, who needs him? We've got everything we need here, don't we? I mean, we just rebuild everything. We're, after all, Phoenix androids. Well, sort of sophisticated bio-androids. I myself will rebuild society as we know it. It'll be glorious. It'll be wonderful. It'll be mystical.
I'm Admiral Catherine Janeway of the Starship Voyager. So, what's going on here? I see I've been summoned at last. Yes, this is the planet Locarno, isn't it? You know, Tom Paris was supposed to be Nick Locarno. The showrunners just screwed up and made him Tom Paris. They felt he was irredeemable. Turns out he wasn't. Turns out he was redeemable. Turns out in some fanfics, he even fought in the Dominion War. Well, he was captured by the Cardassians during the Dominion War. Mr. Locarno redeemed himself during the Dominion War and was rescued by the Starship Exeter, under the command of Sarah Esteban. The Esteban is the ship you attacked. Yes. But now that you're down here, you're all going to stay here. Yes. You'll be of no threat to the Federation here on this planet. Because those loom creatures, they're coming.
She would appear to be a hologram, Captain. Hologram. That would explain why she isn't keeling over from the virus.
I am also a hologram. However, we wish to make a deal with you. If you provide us the necessary means to cure our crew, we will leave you on this planet and leave you alone. There's enough resources for you to carry on. You won't have access to a starship, but you'll be all right. Eventually, Starfleet will send you a supply ship.
Either that or the loom eat this planet with you on it. You don't get anything.
I was always about diplomacy, not hubris, even when I was so chivious of Borg. Very well. I agree to your terms. If not to save our little colony of weirdos.
No, I must have followers. I cannot go on without followers. And what is a cult without a cult leader? No. I shall go back and join the TMS people again, or Cottle or something. Yes, that's it. TMS. The last vestige of TMS. Why, you are one of them, aren't you? You are probably Metador. I believe that you are Metador, aren't you? Yes, Mark Metador. Wow, that is remarkable that you've survived all these years. How did you figure it out? You are impressive, your detective skills. On the Grayson side of the family was descended from Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who wrote Sherlock Holmes. That shouldn't mean anything, but it does, somehow. I figured it out. It is likely a ridiculous, add-on at the last minute, knowing these silly trick writers.
Doctor, what would happen if we cured all of them? They wouldn't be pseudo-zombies anymore, would they?
The cure would probably kill them, Captain. I'm not sure it would work. Could attempt it, like when we reversed Borg drone. Some of them might even survive.
Very Star Trek-like, but they killed some people on the ship, so there's that. They'll have to be punished. Banishment is really not punishment enough for them. And killing them outright is not Starfleet's way.
I am an evil warlord saved from this dimension. I have an idea. Why not hybridize them into what they already are anyway? Back to one or the other. Then they'd be more like us, but less like them. They'd be, sort of Orion-like. Like estrogen. If we did that, they'd be more of them again. I do not wish to be hybridized. I already am. I find the experience rather annoying. Some of us will refuse, and some of us will not. This creature shall eat me, and then I will go on the other side of the universe and become part of it, returning more powerful and evil than ever. You are an idiot. Boy George Michael Jackson. But very well. Also known as Metador. You see, he was Metador. But there was also a Boy George Michael Jackson. Different guy. This guy's been pretending to be Boy George Michael Jackson. He wasn't actually him. I find that rather annoying. So I'll take him out for you. But only because he's annoying. So,
In fact, I won't even eat the rest of you. You're rather sad and pathetic. I'm going to let you all live, because, well, you're rather pathetic. You can live here on this cheesy planet. I don't care. Very well. I will be departing now. You may have this universe. It is yours. Treat it with infinite diversity and infinite combinations. I will not be so lenient if we meet again.
So this is the planet Locarno. I've never actually been down here. It's very strange and very desolate. It's kind of sad and pathetic here. Perfect place for these weirdos. But, you know, they were a LARPing troupe. Some of them can probably be redeemed. Some of them. Like that Esto fella, bring back up to the ship. I guess they need to decide whether they want to come or go. And we'll return to the ship. Everything will be alright. Turns out that when they blasted the bridge, we was all beaming out anyway. They didn't kill anybody. Where do we go to now, Captain?
When none dead go before, my people, the Kirks, will remain here. And any of the other really, really stiff zombie guys. There's no point in them returning to the fleet. But many of the others are welcome to go if they want. What have you done, you bastards? You're making my colony die. What is this?
You're zombies. You're the undead. What is happening to them? Well, they are kind of undead, so some of them are just dying of natural causes. Because they're unnatural to begin with. Well, they weren't unnatural because they were a LARPing troupe. They were unnatural because they were zombies. And zombies are dead guys. When they die, they die. Some of them might be alright. As you can see, some of them are still standing. Bring them back to the ship and cure them.
I will be more than happy to return to our home world. Yes.
This is a rather messed up ending. Transport the survivors back to the ship, I guess.
Geordie, my love, we are still alive. Yes, my love. Yes. A new future shall begin for us, now that we have survived.
Oh, brother. Well, some of them survived. Bring them back to the ship. After we cure everybody, of course. That'd be a good idea. We don't want to infect the crew.
I shall join you, Spock. The Phoenix should never have risen again. There was just too many of us. Too much ego to go around. It was fun.
Captain's log. Stardate 80322.6. The crew have been returned to their starships. However, without a main bridge on the Esteban, we had to use this Enterprise and the other Enterprise to tow our crews home. We will be doing so shortly. All seems to be well. About a handful of the zombie aliens will be recovering in sickbay. The rest died on the planet Locarno. It is unfortunate that we do not know why Section 31 tried to revive Kirk. But we do know that there are probably others like him out there. We might encounter them. It'd be a little weird. But we also know that this universe is not all that changed, and that we should just make the future whatever we want. Because, well, it hasn't been written yet. That's my captain's log entry. The other crewmen will make a full recovery from the Nintendosis. If it ever comes up again, we'll have it in the databanks. And we'll transfer any information to the Chimera and the Till when they go on their adventures, just in case. Thank you, Tendi. It's good to have you back. Back to the Vancouver. Yes, but I'll see you around. You never know. This Metadora person cannot be tied to the TMS people directly. They deny he was here. Of course. Well, that might come up later, but Starfleet might want to study Hope now that she's been brainwashed by my daughter. Maybe they can repair her at Starfleet Medical. Who knows? I don't think she meant to do that. She just didn't know how to use her powers. Let's worry about that later. Is your other daughter actually pregnant, or was she not pregnant? Was she just saying that to get off the ship? Not pregnant, Captain. That would end the show. We don't want to introduce a baby. Well, we sort of had one. That demiurgeon that popped out of me from the aliens. Yeah. I'm told that Alexander and Ayer killed it. Well, good for them. They didn't want a demiurgeon running around. Those things are evil. They totally kill everybody. I don't know how it got in there, by the way. I have no idea. I don't know about that either. That is really weird. I'm assuming that Henderson's all right now. Yeah, he's probably picking up on everybody in sight. And to think that the 2404 incident no longer will happen in this time period kind of makes me wonder what's going to happen instead, in place of it. I wouldn't worry about that. Like she said, this hasn't been written yet. None of it has. Like in Back to the Future. Let's tow the ships out of here. With the Enterprise. Helmsman, navigation, ready. Prepare to tractor beam. Aye, Captain. Mooring beam is ready. Let's take him out. What do you think would become of those weird zombie survivors? You never know, Amanda Q. Some of them may end up serving on our ships later. Ugh, I hope not. Yeah, forget I said. Oh, don't. Anyway, I think in this timeline you'll be returning. Yeah, I will. But I also enjoyed playing Cedo, too, the other timeline. It was fun. Let's see what's out there. Second star to the right, and straight until morning.